because she is the unbeatable monster.
Yeah. You see her strategy? This week? What? Me trigger out of nowhere. I was like, oh, she's unbeatable. She's unbeatable. Shoot. Put respect on her name. She's never losing that title. But, this is how it would be. If I had an option to go pro or stay in the minors and dominate, I would always stay in the minors and dominate. If I'm getting paid the same. If I'm getting paid the same either way, I'm doing it. I don't care.
Think she's not getting paid the same anymore. I don't think she's getting paid the same anymore.
You think they reduced her pay because she's on NXT?
Yeah, I think so.
Nah, I think she's getting paid the same. I think she's still the highest paid person on NXT and getting paid the same. But she went back to the minors and dominated. I can't believe it. This is what I would do every single day, Manny. Every single day.
She wasn't dominating at the beginning. She's dominating now, but she wasn't dominating at the beginning.
Yeah, if I was LeBron James, I would have went to school to be a doctor just so I could dominate college for like 20 years.
Have the ring ropes always been blue?
They've been blue for a long time.
I have not noticed that.
It's dawned to Manny 1 year later of NXT 2.0. Ring ropes are blue. The goddamn ring ropes are blue.
And we'll be back right after this.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Hey! Oh! Check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm of course Lord Manny Hayes, and he is
Marcus the Great! Ricky Starks Polls finale. And Manny, how are you today?
My whole setup's gone really, really slow for a second, and you have frozen on my screen.
Oh no! Am I still frozen?
No, we're doing fine now. So what I need to point out was it was somebody's birthday.
Oh no! Someone's having a birthday, and I would like to say
it was you.
Shout out! Oh! Well, thank you. We're gonna help. 1 year older, 1 year wiser. Probably gonna do the same shit I did last year. It's the same.
Yeah, but as it's your birthday, it's somehow become a tradition where you give away 2% of your petty.
Yeah. I was kind of at the bank on my birthday going like, hey, you know that petty I donated? Can I get that back? That was an accident. I need it back. I'm just not on that level.
No, but see, what I believe is you drop 2% of petty on your birthday, but I think you accumulate 400% across the rest of the year.
I added some petty. Like I'm trying to shave pounds by adding 3% petty. But no, I feel like people find my petty, and I feel like I'm not as petty as people in the world. As I look into the AEW locker room and I go, damn it, there are pettier people than me in this world. And I get angry and bitter about that, and that's where the petty comes back. So whenever I drop said petty, that petty comes back in tenfold. I want to say petty.
Marcus, we may have to stall, and I may have to reset my router.
Oh no!
Do you want to kick off with AEW, and I will jump in after like 2 seconds because I need to reset this router?
Sure. Let's see how this goes. Here we go. Just tell me when. He disappeared. Here we go. Welcome everybody to Thursday night or whatever we call our show. The show goes to the shambles, but it's Thursday night. You know what that means? AEW Dynamite live from Philadelphia, and the show kicked off with Jon Moxley. No, it didn't. It didn't kick off with Jon Moxley. Damn it! I wasn't prepared. I had no notes, Betty. You left me like this with no notes. I don't remember how the show started. I don't remember. Oh God. I want to say it started with Jon Moxley and Juice Robinson, but it didn't. It had to have started with something else, and I can't remember what it was at all. Oh, it started with Jericho and his guys coming to the ring, and the Jericho side in their purple suits, looking all snazzy and stuff, ready to celebrate Jericho. They have matching outfits and everything. There was Luigi Primo in there. He was tossing pizza around, getting more TV time than anybody else. It was absolutely astonishing start. And then Bryan Danielson comes out there. He looks at him, and Daniel Garcia's having problems with Jericho. And they're like, yo, you're a wrestler and all this. And he's like, nah, join the Blackpool Combat Club. And he's like, nah. And then they fight over pizza. I thought show started at all. As soon as you said that, I went, how did the show start? Oh, it was Jericho.
Yeah, and I found it really annoying. Everyone's voice in this except Danielson's I found to be incredibly annoying. Daniel Garcia's voice, annoying. Anna Jay, annoying. Your favorite wrestler, Matt Menard, Daddy Magic, I hate him. If we were playing Push, Murder, Fire, murdered. Not even silently.
I would like that we would play that, and you would just say that and then walk away. Oh, but murder him. But Manny, what about the other stuff? I don't care about that anymore. The murder's been done.
Yeah, I just find him the most irritating. I find him so irritating.
But aren't you supposed to? Isn't he trying to be irritating?
Yeah, he's being annoying, but there's too much. Like, no one else is bringing that level of annoyingness in the JAS.
You might be right there. But, so this segment was going on. Luigi Primo's, they're still getting TV time as numerous other people, such as Andrade, FTR, I think they claim got 30 seconds. Darby Allin can't find his way on Dynamite no more. Who else? There's a bunch of wrestlers they have that can't make the show, but Luigi Primo was in this.
No, so I'm giving him a pass this week because of Hurricane Ian. So Tony Khan tweeted out a couple days ago, if you can't make the show, it's cool. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. So there's a pass on who didn't make TV this week, but yeah.
Wait a minute. Manny, who else was going to stay in the ring for Luigi Primo? He didn't have a match or anything. He was just sitting there. Apparently, he joined the JAS. I don't even know if that's true or not. He's a heel?
I didn't think so. The last I saw him, Ethan Page knocked him out.
Yeah, and that was a heel. So I don't even understand what the point. And then he got knocked out this week as well. Oh. Yeah. But they have this segment, and who's a wrestler, sports entertainer, the great thing of all that about Ring of Honor and all this and whatnot. But I've also learned that the Ring of Honor title has become more important than the TNT title because Wardlow hasn't been seen either.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on in AEW that, like, with the suspension stuff, you would think some people would be featured a bit more, but no, they're not.
No. We're go to the depths of the indies to find a person just so we don't have to feature Miro or give Andrade, who was there, Manny. He was there. Andrade was there.
Are you sure? Because I feel like that could have been just a tape segment. That could have been a tape segment, and we were not supposed to see him ever again.
Where's Roosh? We couldn't have anybody. We're stuck with this.
Which leads to the match, Danielson.
Take care of yourself. Hopefully everything's going right with you.
So we get the match, Bryan Danielson versus Daddy Magic. It was there. I felt nothing from this match. I felt numb.
I'm gonna be honest, Manny. forgot the match even took place. I just remember the opening segment, them arguing back and forth, and then the segment concluded. I forgot there was a match after this. That it was a nothing match. You kind of just forgot about it. Nothing honestly was special about it. Bryan Danielson made the match. They're slowly becoming WWE with these makeshift matches that are happening on this show. Like, it seemed like that's what was going on today. It's like they normally schedule a Scalper read off schedule for the next 17 weeks in the middle of the show. But then now lately it just seems like we randomly get matches here and there about stuff like, oh, this is happening, and I'm gonna make a match now. Talk to Tony for that.
Yeah, I don't think the match was that good. Wheeler Yuta comes out after MJF was advertised. Comes out and defends Tony Schiavone, and for me, that's the final straw. You don't defend Tony Schiavone. I am now officially.
You may do that.
I am now officially on the bandwagon with you.
Yes, join me on this hate. It feels so good as it flows through you. That green blood that comes out of your eyes, that spirit envy. Let it come. Let it leak. Let it leak. I feel like the last straw will be defending Kevin Kelly. I feel like that would be my last straw. When you're defending
but you're already on the bandwagon. You're already on the bandwagon. So technically, Kevin Kelly may be your last straw where you have to go and murder him.
Where we play murder, push, kill, and it's only a murder. I'm not doing the rest. I don't want to play this game no more, Manny. I did murder.
Technically, the murder's supposed to be last, but we do it first.
No, I'll start with murder. But you're talking, I'll go blah 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 blah. It sounded like he was crying, to be honest. I'm still trying to remember what he was upset about.
Because he attacked Tony Schiavone. MJF calls him a fat ass, calls Schiavone a fat ass prick, and then claims Yuta to be one of the best wrestlers in the world. Yuta wants to fight MJF tonight. He stalls yet again for another week.
Yeah, it's MJF, Yuta. It's MJF. Man, you're lucky if that man wrestles once every 3 months. You gonna give an impromptu match tonight? What do you think, this is Raw? Nah, this ain't happening.
No, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of it being a fucking quest to get to MJF.
Yeah, I love it. For some reason, I love it. That it's just like, damn, it's the hardest fucking person to wrestle. He just goes like, nah, we fight on my time. He's the only one that stays consistent with fighting on my time. I mean, Roman does it, but Roman isn't going to wrestle at all. He barely even shows up. MJF shows up every week just to not wrestle.
So we get our next match tonight, which is Juice Robinson versus Jon Moxley. This is an eliminator match, so if he wins, he gets a title match against Jon Moxley,
which will be our third number one contender. So I didn't know it was an eliminator match until midway in the match. They said eliminator. I thought it was for the title, and I was like, oh, he's not winning. But I was like, if he wins, we get a third number one contender. Do we need 3 number one contenders? How do you have 3? Get 3-1, get 3B, get 3C. Because we got the chip with MJF, and then we have the Hangman Page one at whatever Battle Royal that happened. And then we have this. And I'm going like, what did Juice Robinson do? They can do this. And I know he's beating them or whatever, but that don't count. That's not canon. Indies, the New Japan matches, the indie matches, none of that count. That's not canon. You can't show me, if you can't show me footage of that loss, you can't say this person is beating me. Nah, because there's no evidence.
Yeah, and then there's nothing really special about this match. Moxley bleeds again. Adam Page makes his way to the ring wearing flower trousers to go with his butterfly trousers he wore a few months ago. He goes face to face with Mox, and then MJF grabs a mic.
Bianca Belair?
MJF threatens to cash in the chip next week because he's a generation talent. But guess who's behind him? It's Wheeler Yuta, who finds himself into that box, and then they start to have a tiny brawl, and then that ended.
Yeah. So a lot of questions about all of this. One, I believe the Philadelphia crowd had no idea who Juice Robinson was. I feel like it was very quiet during most of that match. And you had the belief that he was not winning. And apparently he's a free agent now, and he's not with New Japan anymore. He's just free. He can do whatever he wants. I guess he can sign with AEW. I don't know. But
he probably will. Probably will. Tony Storm's there. He probably will.
Yeah, it makes sense, Just like, hey, here's my wife. Oh, okay, I can stay here. Yeah. But Yuta getting into the penthouse. I've been to stadiums and arenas. Those doors are locked unless you have a special key. How the hell he getting in there?
He knows some people.
I know a guy. Damn it. Oh, it is his hometown of Philadelphia. And then yeah, that's pretty much it of the segment. It was here.
So we got advertised Serena Deeb versus Tony Storm, but this is when Saraya decides to come out first. Says she's
back.
Yeah, she says she's damaged but not broken and claims to create change. She's going to create change in the division. She claims she is the revolution.
Okay. Are you done?
She may have started some revolution, but she didn't really do anything else to it.
Yeah, she didn't push it forward as Sasha, Bailey, and Charlotte and Becky, who pushed it forward. She kind of was just there. And even Asuka had more of an impact. I'm not trying to take anything away from Paige. I actually like Paige. But I'm just saying, whatever. Call yourself the revolution all you want. I have no problem with what she said at this point. My thing is, you got to answer the question right off the jump. You plan on having matches or what? Damage and broken don't answer no questions. You need Ty to heal? Yep.
And yeah, she didn't answer that. And then she brings out the face part of AEW women. Who Willow came out, and I didn't think she was all elite yet. I thought they didn't make any announcement or anything. I didn't think she signed yet. But
man, he's fact checking him. Willow Nightingale is not announcing she's all elite.
Yeah, but neither has I don't think Sky Blue has either.
No, I think Sky Blue officially became all elite like 2 weeks ago. Where I had to check my notes. It was like, is that Sky Blue? She's not wearing blue. I don't know. She put out all the women's wrestlers. I was like, who's here? Who is this? This is the locker room? This is what we got? This is even worse than what Manny describes as AEW women. Yeah,
Britt Baker comes out with the bad side of what was left in the AEW women's locker room. She says some stuff. She says she puts her neck on the line for AEW, unlike Saraya's. Hers is strong enough to handle it. Saraya's comeback is, "Hey Britt, your name rhymes with shit."
Clever. Took her some time to come up with that.
I feel like Britt Baker and Saraya really killed the vibe. Really killed the vibe. I was all hyped up for Serena Deeb match.
Wait a minute. What vibe did you have at this current moment waiting for this segment?
I am not for this segment.
There was no momentum in this show yet. I was watching the show.
You tell me Serena Deeb's doing anything, I'm ready for it. Because you know something dastardly is happening.
True. But I didn't really have a vibe at this current moment. When Saraya came out, I feel like it did kill all her momentum of joining the company, of going like, oh yeah, they got her. And then she started to speak, and it was just like, oh, I think maybe someone needs a script. Because she was all over the place. She stopped, she paused, she didn't seem comfortable. Like she didn't know what to actually say after she said, "I'm back," or "This is my house," as the crowd prompted her to say it. It just seemed like it was all over the place. Like, Britt, your name rhymes with shit. And then it was like, "Hey guys, I'm glad you're out here. I was talking to Tony, having Boston listen to me, creating a lumberjack match. Haha, sucker. For the world title, sucker."
If that's her big idea, a lumberjack man, no wonder people didn't listen to her.
Yes. My whole thing is, when did Britt didn't come out? Britt had no reason to come out with Jamie Hayter and all her crew because the match was Serena Deeb versus Toni Storm. What if Serena Deeb was just, I'm coming out by myself and okay, and then what? Paige all of a sudden, I'm going to create a lumberjack match, and it's like no one's ready for this.
Yeah, and then the lumberjacks in this match didn't even do anything.
No, they added nothing. Well, because they weren't prepared to be lumberjacks. They were not prepared. And then this is more evidence that Paige is not clear, that as soon as that match was even coming close to start, she had to get the hell out of there because she is not clear to be at ringside, be at her doctor's note or whatever's going on. Tony, tell me you didn't just pay for Paige to just go to just exist. To just exist.
Yeah, so she said, what do you make of it's so good to have a boss that finally listens to me?
I immediately said, shut up, Paige. Just shut up. What do you want? What did you want? What did you want? You were injured. They allowed you to continue doing your Twitch. They didn't allow anybody else, even though I think Vince left the ball.
Yeah, they paid her to do nothing for a good few years because that WWE backstage thing was a flop.
Yeah, WWE backstage didn't work. Her and CM Punk and everything like that didn't work out. Her as a general manager didn't work. Her as a manager of Absolution didn't work. Her as I think it's just a lot of stuff was going on. She had many problems in this stint, whether it was with Del Rio or whatever the hell else is going on in her life. They gave her Tough Enough. They did all of this shit. Like, she had a lot of stuff. She was on Total Divas. They did a lot with Paige for the amount of time she spent injured with that company. So I don't know what she wanted, but it's what it is, I guess. If I'm Triple H and Stephanie, I'm going like, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah. Saraya's gone on to follow this up on Twitter by saying, on a good note, I'm so proud of the women yesterday. Not only did they get more than 5 minutes to have a match, it was the first ever lumberjack match. A woman on commentary and a good portion of the roster being showcased. That's a win. In brackets, even if I was a little rusty, close brackets. I don't think that's necessarily a showcase. Is that really a showcase?
Yeah, no, it's still the same. Women get one segment, and they stretched it out to do multiple feuds in one segment because all the women get is this amount of time. They got one segment.
The thing about the AEW women's division is I just find it really strange that it's like Jade Cargill is on the other side and Toni Storm are on the other side. So essentially the TBS title and then the AEW World Women title don't seem to live in the same universe.
Yeah, because they never interact.
Yeah.
And you would think Jade Cargill would be more on TBS for Dynamite since she is the TBS champion, but I don't remember the last time I've seen Jade Cargill. Me being the person who has self-admitted does not really watch Rampage. Because I feel like it's a useless show and nothing ever happens of any importance.
So we get a squash match between Ricky Starks and someone, and then we get to the main event, which is Chris Jericho versus Bandito. So this is actually what Wash the Taste.
Whoa, was that the show?
Yeah.
Shit.
So Chris Jericho versus Bandito. This actually washed the taste of a bad segment. That bad segment out of my mouth. And then Jericho wins, challenges Bryan Danielson as his goal is now to destroy every essentially his goal is to destroy ROH.
Yeah, but Manny, how do you destroy ROH when the company already went out of business? The only reason it's alive is because Tony Khan decided to keep it alive. But that shit is dead. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm going to destroy a company that's already dead. It's like the Simpsons, you don't kill it. It's already dead. It's already dead. There's nothing going on. So, one, Bandito and Chris Jericho delivered. It was a really good match. Bandito put it all in that suplex. I love that he was just like he went with the stand suplex. You normally don't get somebody of his size and doing something like that, but his legs started to wobble. I was like, please don't go back. Please don't break a knee or anything.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It's Chris Jericho. It ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. But you know, like you said, like I can't believe the show just ended. That's all it was, really. It's kind of, you know, I guess we have backstage segments.
Yeah, the only thing that I've missed out really was Keith Lee interrupting the Acclaimed and saying he spoke to his boy Swerve, and the only person it says you didn't something along the lines, you didn't really win those titles, you were carried by Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn said he got 2 words for him, scissor me, and we also learned that next week is Scissor Me Day.
Yeah, National Scissors Day. Can't wait for that. But overall, this show was just kind of there. They were just, you know, I miss some of the people. This was an opportunity when we didn't have the Bucks or Punk or all the other people to have all these other people who I like on the show, whether it's Andrade, Miro, FTR, you know. Let's bring in Bandito. And I love Bandito. He did a great job. They had a great match.
That match actually saved AEW from being like a complete like, why I just wasted 2 hours.
Yeah. And you know, it was like, again, it's fine, but you have other people on this show, like on your show, you're not using, but you brought in Juice Robinson and Bandito when that could have been easily a Wardlow spot or Ricky Starks.
We don't know if Wardlow was there. Was Wardlow there?
I don't think so. But I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out names. I don't know who was actually there.
Guevara could have done something against someone, you know. They could have had a multitude of things.
Ricky Starks could have got more than that rush 2 minutes. We spent more time with Excalibur describing what's happening in the next 2 weeks of the schedule than we did with Ricky Starks, who had entrance, match, cutaway, quick. Or we could have had Hobbs on the show. You know, all these people they have that I'm going like, why aren't we using them? And, you know, it may be the Hurricane or whatnot, but there's so many other people that there should be featured, and that they're like, nah, Tony continues. I'm going to go outside the business to get.
I think Hurricane Ian probably had a big effect on who actually turned up this week, and it may even have effect on Rampage this week as well.
No, but Bandito was announced a while ago, though, right? Wasn't he announced last week?
Yeah, so Bandito probably a thing that was happening. The Juice Robinson one, that probably that one was a bit like okay.
That was middle of the week. You know. But I still feel like you had other people. I feel like you could have used other people. It looked like Private Party was in the back there. Seemed like they could have used them. They're falling back into Matt Hardy's hands, I guess, because that tag team is going nowhere apparently. Like we're just gonna keep doing the same thing. They're getting passed out like just like in jail. Like, oh yeah, you got Private Party now. No, you got Private Party now.
So yeah, that was AEW Dynamite. Wasn't really a good show, but I'm giving it a pass this week.
It's a terrible follow-up episode after Grand Slam. You may give it a pass.
I don't think it's that. This is technically not their fault though.
I'm blaming them. I feel like they could have gave us something more. Like just, you know, I feel like
they have tons of people. They have a huge roster that could have probably traveled.
Yeah, but they chose not to.
It is what it is. So let's move into NXT. It opens up with Dragunov. He said the last time he was in NXT, he conquered a machine. He returned to repeat history to achieve his destiny. He will beat an unbeatable machine to claim gold. McDonough comes out, says Dragunov is a sneaky, dirty little rat. And he isn't surprised he followed him into America. But Dragunov reminds him that he beat him and forced him out of NXT UK.
The greatest. Like, hey, you're in America because you got fired because you lost that match. Even though it was controversy.
There was a follow clap back of, oh yeah, but after that match with you, didn't you have to drop the title too because your body couldn't handle it anymore?
Yeah. Both men had really good arguments. It was like, yeah, I ended your career almost. I didn't beat you for the title, but I cost you the title. That was just good. Yeah, but I kicked you out of NXT. Hey, we're all here, Dragunov. We're all here, Ilya. My comeback would have been you ran NXT into the UK to the ground. It's now out of business. When Gunther and Pete Dunne had those titles, we were still alive. Now it's NXT Europe, and we're in the toilet, brother. We're in the toilet.
What else? So Bron Breakker comes out. He breaks.
Red WCW at this point.
Yeah,
I was in
Bron
charge of
Breakker.
WCW. You're gone. We're gone.
Bron Breakker breaks out some Steiner math, and that's the only interesting thing he's ever done. That ain't even in his gimmick. That's his uncle's gimmick. Bron Breakker needs interesting things. He's boring.
I would say someone needs to do one of these, you know, and he needs like a fashion designer go, honey, none of this is working. He needs somebody to do that. Don't care who it is, male or female, anybody can say, honey, none of this is working. You need a new look. And two, I actually thought he was short and simple in this. He referred to Steiner Math 33 in his third, and then he did the triple threat match and then put the mic in the air. I'm glad those people said threat and said it with him. But he was tolerable in this. He was tolerable in this segment.
Yeah, but now we're treating him like he's Ronda Rousey.
I hope he loses.
We're treating him like he's Ronda Rousey when it comes to holding that microphone.
Who's better? Who would you take? You had to
I'll take Ronda.
cut a promo. You had to cut a promo to start your show. You go with Ronda over Bron Breakker?
Yeah.
I will only go with Ronda because I think she'll bring in some viewers.
The Schism say the raft of the Schism is imminent.
I don't know why I'm gonna go. The raft of the Schism is Bizzle or Shizzle.
And Cameron Grimes brought this. Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to read and then the words weren't happening.
Kazoo, but it's a skizzle. It's skizzle.
Cameron Grimes, they say Cameron Grimes brought this upon himself and he will always be alone.
That's a whole ass declaration right there. You will always be alone. Oh, thank you. I thought this was about wrestling, but you really attacked my soul. You really attacked my existence in life. You will always be alone. Okay. This isn't about wrestling more. It's personal.
We get the first match of the night, which is Fallon Henley versus Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's title. It actually wasn't that bad of a match.
Oh, Mandy's getting good. And, you know, it could be that it was
Fallon's not that bad either.
Though.
I think there's a lot of surprises in that NXT women's division where they aren't as actually bad as like we think they're gonna be shit or completely green, but they ain't that bad.
Well, but Manny, you must take into account this was a taped recording of NXT, so it could have been ugly. It could have been ugly. I didn't really see any mini edits in the show. It didn't seem like they did like, oh no, let's do a jump cut here. But it's hard to declare. Like, it's different from watching someone on live TV and then edited TV. Like, I thought they were going to edit the Tony D'Angelo thing out, but that's sad.
Yeah. So coming off, there was a news report earlier in the week that said NXT talents as of now, not NXT talents, performance center recruits. They have 2 years to get to TV. They have to be good enough in 2 years to get to TV, or they're gone. Which actually makes sense. I think 2 years is too long. If I'm being perfectly honest. Well,
according to old wrestlers, it takes like 6 years. Some people it takes like 5 years before they have their first real match. Before they actually
but like I feel like there's a few. I feel like 2 years is a bit too much. I think to get to TV, I think. You start learning the basics, you start doing that. I think a year maybe.
But even 2 years, but with 2 years, I think to get the TV to say you're TV ready, we don't know what that actually means. Are you squash match ready? Are you but do we have to have a character for you already? Or can you just be like who's that? What's the chick that was wrestling later? Amari Miller, who is on TV, but is not really doing anything.
Yeah. Then we get.
I agree with the step because in 2 years of watching somebody develop, you probably can be like, probably not gonna be nothing. And if they are something later, come on back, baby, come on back.
Apollo has another vision of Grayson Waller having pink eye and sends a warning to Waller because he ain't done with him, bitch.
Again, how do these visions work? Why can't I see in his head? Like, pink eye is not a hard bit. If you run up to somebody and you have pink eye and they have pink eye, it's very contagious. That can't happen.
And then Waller saw the vision. He seems worried. Mackenzie tells him, "Why don't you just stay at home?" He can't, Marcus. He can't because he's booked Cora Jade and Roxanne next week.
I'm a good Waller fan. I got it booked. I can't just flake on it. I mean, he can, but I just knew he come from. He sounded like me. Hey, Marcus, why are you going to work today? Or why are you doing a show today? You have to do all this. I can't. I'm booked. I got to do Raj Retro. Marcus, you can, not do these shows.
I'm not being funny, though. This week's Roy's Retro taping is the best ever.
Yeah.
3 of the best episodes. So we get another match with Wesley versus Tony D. This has an abrupt ending as Tony D got hurt in the match and leads to a referee stoppage. And then we get Mello getting introduced to Oro Mensah.
Yeah, it looked like nothing, the injury for Tony D. But then that's how bad the injury is. It just looked like he was running to the ropes. It didn't look like it was caused by anybody or himself. It just looked like, fuck, my knee gave out.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
it happened.
damn.
Mine did that during a football match.
Yeah.
So I was trying to. I think it was a store versus store kind of game, and then there was a store manager, big guy, huge, size of like Keith Lee. He had the ball, and then I'm just abusing him whenever he got the ball. I was a little bit more agile then, and I remember
with your cat-like reflexes, Manny.
I remember my body went that way, but my knee went that way.
Yep.
And then I'm just lying there like a heap on the floor. My teammates carried me off, threw me on the ground, and then carried on playing.
Yeah. The game's on, man. They're taking it in the game. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're not gonna have stoppage time because of you. Get out of here. But yeah, this injury looked bad. The question I have for you in this, Wesley, supposed to win or not supposed to win?
I don't think he was supposed to win. He looked surprised when it happened.
Shit, I got in a ladder match. I'm definitely
unless they were building to that. Unless they were building that, because Wade was obviously going on about what happened last week, where Wesley was given a bye directly into the ladder match, and he wanted to fight to get in, and Wade was saying that's so stupid.
I mean, they could have, but I had him losing this match. I felt like, and I never thought I'd say this, there wasn't enough diversity in the ladder match for him to win. It's very black. Blackest ladder match in history already. The ladder match is black now.
So Mello gets introduced to Oro Mensah. Mello says he likes him, but Halloween Havoc, it's every man for themselves. Marcus, I never heard him speak before as Oliver Carter.
I feel like he spoke in NXT UK. I remember hearing him speak, but it was a little bit like in the backstage segment. They would just be talking.
I forgot how Caribbean that accent was because I can't remember where he's from. Is he from Trinidad?
Yeah, something like that, right? He says Ghana. He's saying Ghana now, but I don't know if it's always been Ghana.
But that accent was strong. I was like, this is the real Kofi. I want him and Kofi Kingston to have an interaction.
Yeah. By the way, did you see that video floating around of the Kofi Kingston before WWE promo?
No.
It's a heel promo. He's talking about he's anti-America. He's like, look at this infrastructure. Look at this. Your kids play at this playground. It's disgusting, America. You're disgusting. I'm like, wow, this is great. He reminded me of Michael Blackson for some reason. I thought he was going to say, look at this motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker.
I do love whenever I see Michael Blackson. Whenever I see it, you know something funny is about to happen.
Yeah, he's just going to say something that I can say, you can say, that any random person can say. No, it's funny. But he would just say one thing and say, shut up, motherfucker. And it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. This is the way he pronounces things. Follow him on
So,
Instagram. I followed him on Instagram because I thought it'd be hilarious. No, he just got twerking videos and shit.
so we get the day in the life of Pretty Deadly. I love this.
Hilarious. Manny, I enjoyed the time
we get up at 6 a.m. You think we get up at 6 a.m. No. And go to the gym. No. We get up at 10 a.m. way after all those normals have gone to work. I haven't even written this down. I've remembered this verbatim.
You're wrong about the 10 a.m. I think it's 9 a.m. Because
No,
at 10 a.m.
9 a.m. is when normal people go to work.
At 10 a.m., I feel like they were saying they got dressed. And they
No, at 10 a.m. they made breakfast each other.
Because I felt like they were getting dressed from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I was like, what the fuck? I feel like that was I think it was like 10:15 to 2 p.m. We were deciding our outfits to look at him back. And I go, 10 to 2?
The greatest thing ever.
Yeah, this was the best segment on NXT this week. And
Do you know the only thing?
This shit made me laugh.
The only thing missing from it, I think, is Lash. Lash Legend, I feel, needed to be in this.
Yeah, she'd be like, she hands us the paper so we can look over the fashion news or something. We have brunch with our friend Lash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's affiliated with them anymore, but they need to bring them back together.
They need to be back together.
It's ratchet enough. It was ratchet enough. They're training.
Oh wait, I just realized what I wrote. I wrote something and I just realized what I wrote. It's like Keith Lee may ask you to bask in his glory, but these two bask in each other's glory.
Yes. I was watching it with Ryan, and he doesn't watch Pretty Deadly on a regular basis. So he just looked at me and was like, that was great, but I have one question. These two dudes fucking or what?
Well, at the end, it suggested that they were. At the end, it suggested that they were.
Yeah, he was like, is this the first ever tag team that's actually fucking each other? And we haven't together as a couple? This is a couple? This is the first couple we've ever had as a tag team champion?
This is modern. This is Bert and Ernie colorized. No, not colorized. What do they call live action? Live action Bert and Ernie.
What do we call real people? That's what you were asking right there.
No, it's like, what do you call? Do you know when they remade Little Mermaid? That they call that live action.
Oh
Little
God,
Mermaid.
Manny, can we not bring up the Little Mermaid? Can we not? Oh man, I would reshoot that whole movie and piss everybody off just because they so upset about the Little Mermaid. I would make her blacker.
I'll make Flounder Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I would make Ariel not be able to sing. I would put I can't remember her love interest, but it'd just be some hood dude. Some sorry ass dude who gonna leave her or some shit.
Eric. The guy's name's Eric.
Yeah, I would just make it Eric from the show.
Are you sure he's not Ursula? Because Ursula was one hateful woman, and Eric is one hateful man.
Eric can do both roles. In fact, Eric can do an Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor type of deal. He's playing Ursula, he's playing Eric, and then fuck it, man, we'll put him in the mermaid costume. We're gonna fuck these people's life up. We're gonna fuck these people's life up.
So we do get Amari Miller versus Sol Roca. Amari Miller was out there, so I knew a Sword Smash was coming.
Yeah. What do you think of the Sol Roca?
She's very unpolished. I think the X Factor for the win. I'm not sure. I like that. That's a K squared move, and I won't let anyone else have that. And I know X Pac is doing it in retro. I don't care.
Hold on. Did she? That wasn't her finish. Her finish was that flippy leg drop off the corner, right?
No. She ended with the X Factor.
No, she did the X Factor, and then she did a flip leg drop on her back. Athletic leg. Yeah, it was a very athletic leg drop. I went, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of women to follow Amari Miller. Because she's extremely athletic. I'll give her that. You can tell she was a gymnast with all the flips because she did it. But like you said, she's unpolished. She does everything a little slow and a bit slow. Amari Miller, did what she could, I guess, with her. I'm not calling.
I think she's been on Level Up a few times, so I think they were trying to see what she could do on actual NXT.
Yeah. I got Stratton being better though. God rest
Stratton's
her soul,
much better, but Stratton's close to being nearly the finished article to go to the main roster.
Yeah, but they have equal athleticism. That's why I was going with that. They have equal athleticism.
We get Cameron Grimes versus Joe Gacy. This kind of just happened for me.
This was a match where I went. The referee got to throw everybody the fuck out. Because at one point there was like 6 people in the ring, and I got confused that Joe Gacy landed his move on the Cameron Grimes in the clothesline. I was like, there's no way. He's distracted by all this nonsense.
Yeah, and then we get Nikita Lyons versus Kaden Carter. This match wasn't even that bad. It really wasn't. I thought it was going to be bad.
I thought it was going to be horrible, but I guess Kaden carried it. Nikita is still not there at any level. I would say Ruka is better than Nikita already. But
and so this leads to at the end Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark chatting some shit, which they're approached by Toxic Attraction, who already are like, because Alba Fire writes hashtag and new and fire.
Yeah, earlier tonight. Manny, I was so confused by this thing because one, I didn't know we were close to outside. I never know we had the NXT in the Capitol Wrestling Center. I never know. But Zoe Starks and Nikita was just walking. And then I was like, oh, there's some there. But then you go like, no, they're close to outside because Toxic Attraction's right there. Oh, there are cars right there. Wait, we're outside? And then I guess Alba Fire had asked Apollo for a vision so she could set up her fires right there. At this point, having Alba Fire in your building is a fire hazard because she's just a pyromaniac and she's just setting up traps everywhere. I was like, you almost burned me, bitch, for no reason.
So now we move closely into Chase U. Andre Chase says he earned himself a qualifier match against Von Wagner. And a reporter called Dave. Funny how that happens, Marcus.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, Durag Dave on Tuesday.
I just thought it was Dave Meltzer. What you call him?
No, I'm going with Durag Dave. Durag Dave.
I think Durag Dave have more credible sources than Dave Meltzer, so let's go with that.
He asked how he feels going into that match as he's never beat Von Wagner, and then he chews out Dave. Fuck you, Dave.
Fuck you, Dave. I just thought it was a Dave Meltzer reference. That's why he said he was Dave in the media. But
I didn't know that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
I also was like, I think he's going through. I think he's going to get through. I don't think they believe him, Von Wagner. I think that Chase is going to actually make it to the ladder match. I'm rooting for him.
They'll put Wagner in there.
No way.
For size.
No. Put Chase. Come on. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves yelling CAJ. And you can match that in the ladder match. I'm rooting for him. Fuck Von.
Then we get Ilya Dragunov versus Zion Quinn. This comes off Quinn claims that he hasn't been given the ball or for the title yet because they know if they gave it to him, apparently no one would be able to take it off him. Dragunov calls him a mental moron. Dragunov damn well near killed him with that forearm before the finish.
Yeah. So my whole impression of all this is Zion Quinn. Shit, I forgot you existed. Then you're in this match. Not bad. Solid match with Dragunov, whatever. But I don't see Zion Quinn going anywhere. He's in the Von Wagner state.
Yeah, and then we go backstage and your boy Quincy's talking to Sanga, and they're having a little heart-to-heart. And this is an interesting little scene because now you get a little glimpse of what Quincy is about. Quincy goes straight after Quinn. He says, I remember that conversation we had last week, but I can't see that X Factor you were talking about.
I'm like, you motherfucker. I would attack Quincy right there. Quincy would have been dead. But then I would have remembered, I'm sorry, I quit. I can't beat up anybody. But shout out to Senga, who reformed in this year over the weekend with beer.
I think Veer needs that, to be honest.
Who needs it more, Senga or Veer?
I think Veer. He's come to the main roster, but like realistically, made no real impact. He was in a load of squash matches, but like didn't really. I don't think they had anything planned for him, especially when Triple H took over. He was one of those that got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, like Omos is, I guess, returning.
Yeah, but I think Triple H gets what he wants with Omos because there's not much you can really do with a giant.
Yeah,
like Omos, other than do the Braun Strowman stuff.
Yeah.
So there's not with with Veer, there's a bit more agility and stuff for him. So there's different stuff you can do, but Indashir seems like it could be a decent team, tag team, like, which is clearly lacking in WWE in the first place.
The only reason they ended up breaking up was because of I don't know if it was Veer. I think it was Veer.
No, I don't think it was Veer. I think it was I think it was Sanga who tweeted out that picture of Keith Lee.
Yeah. No, they fucked up. Whatever it was. They created the Diamond Mine, and now Stokely's in AEW. It just sent us down to a dark path, a different timeline. Stokely's still on the main roster, managing tag team champions in this year.
What else did we have? And then we get Brutus Creed versus Damon Kemp. Kemp eventually destroys Brutus with a chair. Tells Julius, "Come get some."
My favorite thing ever. Damon Kemp, with all his pettiness and built up, it's like, you know what? I'm going to just hit this dude with a chair. And it's like, "Come get some." Brutus dumbly walks over and like, "You're not going to hit." "Oh, he hit me. He really did it." Didn't think he would. And he just continues to beat the shit out of him. No one comes to Brutus Creed's aid.
It does make me wish and wonder what his brother would have actually would bring to this table, because if he actually really wanted this, he'd be here by now, because he's currently indecisive about going back to college or not.
Yeah,
he's stuck in this realm of, do I go pro or do I stay in the amateurs?
Although it would be nice if he did decide to wrestle at Halloween Havoc, Kemp and brothers against brothers, Creeds versus the Stevensons or whatever the hell they want to pronounce it. It'd be nice. I don't think we're getting that right. Managed by Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
So like Roddy would be an coach.
There's a woman. It looks like it's a woman that's in a red hoodie, who was previously seen accosting Edris Enofe and Malik Blade in the parking lot when they were doing the vote for your favorite NXT superstar.
Yeah.
They're now floating around in the crowd. She's got a yellow mask on to cover their face. Yeah. I think this might be Isla Dawn.
Oh, it could be. They didn't release her, huh? Did they release Isla Dawn? No, right?
They didn't release quite a lot of people from NXT UK when I was scrolling through the roster page. There's quite a few NXT UK people are still on that roster page.
Oh, that would make sense. I was not sure who it was, because I didn't know who was left from NXT UK or who they haven't used or whatnot. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then we throughout the night, Gallus and Briggs and Jensen are brawling throughout the night, which leads to Joe Coffey being banned from ringside. And then we have this pub rules match. Marcus, I'm going to say fuck Shawn Michaels and Triple H for trying to book Briggs and Jensen to look strong. Fuck them both.
Fuck that. Yeah, I was against I wasn't really a fan of the match. It was happening. I just don't like Briggs and Jensen. But it may have been solid. But I was upset that Gallus lost. and
Yeah.
apparently went to jail after. I don't know what they did.
Yeah,
because
they hit a referee and then they've been suspended. I'm sure the fine is pretty hefty. Hefty. So yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what the plan is with Gallus going forward then.
Oh no, I thought it was a nice moment seeing them get arrested. It made them seem like a big deal. And I do like that they always have security around Gallus because they may attack. They're unsafe to be around. I thought that was a good look. Even though I didn't understand why they're getting arrested. I thought, let's end it with Gallus getting arrested. They seem like they're out of control. But fuck Brooks and Jensen.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
So yeah, that was NXT. NXT was a little bit better than Dynamite.
I would say about equal.
Nah, there's one thing that bumps it up for me.
What?
The Pretty Deadly segment.
Yeah, that's the segment. Look, so NXT for me, Pretty Deadly segment. That's my NXT segment. For Dynamite, Bandito versus Jericho. They're kind of equal in having like.
To be fair, there was not. If you combine the shows, there's not much I actually properly enjoyed.
No, Raw ran circles around this show, and SmackDown already won.
Yeah. I didn't. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy that most stuff on this show.
Yeah, it was just like, whatever.
And this was a rare occasion. I got to watch NXT at like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh,
like I had time to watch NXT. Then I started planting pumpkins in Disney Dream thing.
You're doing it in real life. I was like, oh, Manny, you're gardening again.
No, I was gardening in Disney whilst your show was on. So I had you as background noise as I was listening. And then I managed to get AEW done quite early today as well. And yeah, both reasonably awake and just like hated both, really. I didn't hate them. I hate such a strong word. I did not enjoy them both. I didn't enjoy them both.
Yeah. And I like NXT still had like this is a tape show step. They have a new logo and stuff, but until they get a new design, I feel like.
Well, I think this is I think this may be the last tape show, and then we're getting the merging properly of NXT 2.0, and we go properly to black and gold,
or white and gold, or whatever they're at. Coke and gold, as I like to call it. But yeah, that was the show. Those were the two shows. Yeah, very disappointing shows for both parts.
Yeah,
they brought nothing. Raw's doing everything, and also,
who would think Raw would be the show with like we're so high on this week? Like,
and Raw wasn't amazing. It was just a good show. It's just a solid show. But you asked us 3 months ago, hey, Raw outdid NXT and AEW. What? Get out of here with your nonsense. What did Reggie do on that show? But yeah, that's where we're at currently. And I like that they added on for Extreme Rules the good old fashioned Donnybrook. Donnybrook, another one.
So that's a real pub match. So that's a real pub match. Oh no, wait, that's not a pub match. It's a shillelagh match, isn't it?
Well, Sheamus is gonna bring his bar. He brought his bar for the last Donnybrook out. So
yes, but he was also repping Ivory Coast, not Ireland, in that match.
And if I'm correct, is it this week Sheamus versus Gunther, or is that next week?
I think it's this week. No, I think it's next week. Yeah, they said 2 weeks, I think, but it's the season premiere of this nonsense of SmackDown, which I don't understand. How do you have season premieres in wrestling? It's a yearly show.
Yeah, I don't know. The only season they care about, I guess, is the fall. The season premiere of SmackDown. Although Roman's going to announce for Raw when they go to Brooklyn, which I think that's the show where Bray Wyatt returns. And the Brooklyn show seems like that would be the show.
I still think they're going to draw it out, this Bray Wyatt thing. Even if they have Bray Wyatt or it turns out to be someone else.
Whether it's Bray Wyatt or if Sasha decides to be the White Rabbit who removed her WWE out of her name, which I thought she did already. I think that's what she did that already. Maybe it
still says WWE in a bio, though.
Yeah.
It says like Sasha Banks in WWE, whatever the name of her character is in The Mandalorian. I've not watched that show. have not bothered to finish the second season. It's too slow.
It's good. It's good. It's 30-minute episodes. You don't need people dying and blowing up in every
It's
episode.
30-minute episodes that feel like it's 2 days.
Such a good show. Best thing going on in Star Wars.
Yeah, so that is actually it for this week's show.
It. Yeah, I mean, don't forget to like the video, subscribe. If you missed this episode live, be sure to comment in the comments. It sounds weird, but yeah.
We got some comments in the last episode. Should we read some of them out?
No. All right, go ahead. Let the people voice their opinions. Fine.
So the final boss said he would kill Dominic Mysterio, fire Shanky, and push Mello. Then claimed, I would say Manny's fire kill push would be fire Elektra Lopez, kill B-Fab, push Nikita Lyons for the women, and for the men, kill Briggs and Jensen, fire Tony D'Angelo, and push Trick Williams or Nathan Frazier.
Manny, I swear you're now the officially, who's that, the final boss? You're the final boss, because that's what everything you would have did.
I don't think I'd push Nathan Frazier. I'd push Trick Williams.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trick needs to turn on Mello. Let's get this going.
I think at this moment in time, I would say push Damon Kemp.
Ooh. That's a good push. That's a good push.
But my real push is push Tiffany Stratton to the moon.
To the moon. Wherever she goes, God rest her soul. It would have been sad since she got put through that bed. By the way, Wendy Chu and Lash Legends beef is just, I believe it's over nothing, but they had a long
It's about
video
talking,
back
isn't it? It's about them talking. It's about something about talking.
Just seemed like some nonsense that could happen anywhere, but I'm for it. Like, what are they fighting for? This is nonsense, but let them fight. Let them fight. All right.
Yeah, so that is today's show. Check out Roy's Retro tomorrow. It is when Austin comes to the ring in the Zamboni.
Hey, where police fail to do their job, or they do their job correctly and not shoot somebody.
No, this is the episode where the whole of the Detroit police force was in attendance to protect Vince McMahon.
Yeah. And it just shows that Detroit cops are shit without Axel Foley. I don't know.
And the next set of tapings, the Big Ross Man returns. And we've got 3 memorable episodes coming up. Memorable episode Raw in that time period, which I thought were incredibly spaced out.
No, they just shot these off. Like, it was like, oh, this happened. Oh, all back to back. My favorite is the third. My favorite episode was the third one.
My favorite is the hospital one.
It's better than the hospital. I think it's because I think about the situation of what's going on and how nonchalant it seems like the public is of a man wielding a gun and threatening to come in. That's kind of what's going on in that episode, man. He has a gun. He's going to shoot up the building. And everybody's very cavalier about that. The police are getting autographs.
The police were cool about it. It's like, oh, you got a hand weapon?
He's calling Vince via phone. It's over, Vince. I'm coming for you. What the fuck? No one's doing anything.
I feel like we need props for the taping. I feel like we need knives. I feel like we need fruit. I feel like we bow and arrows.
The third episode hit different because you get Hill Undertaker. He's
started the Ministry.
The Ministry of Darkness. You get Kane via. You get all of this shit.
Yeah, so tune in on Fridays where we go back and relive this stuff, and I feel like you should be watching along and staying up to date with us and reliving this because it is hilarious.
Yeah. Is the third one also the one night tournament, or was that the second one? I'm trying to remember.
I think that's the second one. Yeah, that's the second one with Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock goes rogue.
The second when they have a one-night, they do the one-night tournament, and then the next week they had out, we're going to do a one-night tournament again at Survivor Series.
Yeah, and I like. Oh no, we need to save this for. We actually need to save this for retro.
Yeah, we haven't actually recorded. We haven't even recorded it. This is the first time I get to talk about it. But I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
So yeah, tune into all that stuff. Subscribe to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. All up at the top there. And like the video and subscribe if you haven't. We have been out.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
I want to know who he's looking for in that one.
Looking for approval, Mark. He's looking for approval.
When he does that
someone agree with me, please.
Someone out there. Although my conspiracy of Jericho trying to secretly buy AEW is coming to fruition. I don't know if I even said this on air. That's my ultimate premonition. He's slowly politically getting everybody out. Punk, Bucks. He's the main guy. He has to be number 2. And then he starts the show, ends the show. Jericho is going to be Mr. AEW no matter what he says. That's his goal. He's middle finger.
Yeah, but Mox is Mr. AEW.
Yeah, he'll figure out a way to get Mox out. He's like, Mox is going to fall off that wagon. Let's take a drink. And then it's just me. It's just me.
Me at 55 years old. I've got AEW to myself.
I got it all. Tony has to walk away for a bad image or something. And it's all mine. My creation. Jericho versus the WWE. The way I've always wanted. It's either that, it's either politics, he's either middle fingering, or he's a secret mode for WWE at this point. Cause it friction.
So on that note, I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been
Marcus the Grand Finale. I got my patty back.
And we will be back tomorrow with Roy's Retro and back with the hater on Saturday. Peace. I don't know what I was doing. Peace.